Welcome back to TeaHouse Dive. Episode 1 asked a simple question: who can you trust? Episode 2 asks something even stranger: can you manufacture a family the same way you build a business? Because by the end of the episode, our main characters haven't fallen in love. They haven't become a family. They have assembled a team: a strategist, a lawyer, a grandfather, a child. Every person has a job. Every relationship has a purpose. And that's when I realized the apartment job isn't pretending to be a family drama. It's pretending to be a corporate heist. Grab your tea and let's dive into episode 2. Family isn't built. The most important hire in episode 2 isn't an employee, it's a wife. He isn't searching for love. He's not looking for a soulmate. He's not even looking for a partner. He's recruiting specialists. He isn't building a household. He's building an organizational chart. Someone who looks believable, standing next to him in a family portrait. She brings respectability. The lizard brings campaign strategy and elderly votes. The little boy brings innocence. His friends, they handle logistics. It feels like Ocean's 11 meets a corporate boardroom, except that this disguise isn't suits and sunglasses. It's a family photo on the wall. And the most cynical part is that it works, because real families in this building community are so broken that no one questions a fake one. Apathy. Imagine someone taking a couple of dollars from your bank account every month. Would you notice? Would you fight it? Probably not. Nobody cares. Who has time to fight over a couple of dollars? But collectively, now multiply that by nearly 10,000 households, and suddenly everyone cares. The show is making a very devastating point. We're conditioned to ignore a small loss. We shrug them off. We move on with our lives. But when someone exploits that apathy on a massive scale, we don't even see it coming until the money is gone. But here's the question this episode forces us to ask: how many things do we ignore every single day because each individual loss feels too small? That's not just a heist premise. That's a social critique. Identity is paperwork. There's another layer running through episode 2. It's very subtle. It's very easy to overlook. Identity is paperwork. In this world, who you are matters less than what you can prove. Look at how often this episode puts documents at the center of the story. The application form. The male lead stares at it almost like a confession. He doesn't want to lie, but the lizard brushes his concern aside. Nobody cares what you write. They just look at the picture. And then we have the resident registration. They immediately notice something is wrong. Not because they know the male lead personally, but because the paperwork doesn't match the image of a typical building rep. A single man doesn't fit that expectation. And also we have the family portrait. They're not taking a keepsake. They're creating evidence. A photograph that tells the world this is a family. And also we have the official seal. The entire heist doesn't depend on hacking a computer or breaking into a vault. It depends on a stamp, a symbol of authority that makes a transaction look legitimate. Even the maintenance fund exists as numbers on a ledger. Billions of won aren't hidden in a suitcase. They exist because the records say they do. Nobody in this episode asks, are you really a family? They ask instead, can you prove you're one? And I think that's one of this episode's most unsettling ideas. In this world, identity isn't built on truth. It's built on documentation. If you have the right application, the right registration, the right family photograph, the right official seal, then the system accepts you. You don't have to become a family. You only have to look like one on paper. And if a system can be fooled by paperwork, then maybe the biggest con in the apartment job isn't stealing money. It's convincing the world you're someone you're not. Community. This episode opens with mothers planting trees. It ends with criminals planting a family. The saplings in episode 2 are the perfect visual metaphor. Natural families, they plant roots. The women in the beginning of this episode gathering to plant those saplings like a real community. They're building something slowly, together, with care. The male lead doesn't plant anything, he manufactures roots. His family is assembled overnight, staged in a photography studio, and presented as fact. One grows organically, the other performs. The tragedy is that the organic community is ignored, uprooted, literally by Miss Jang, while the manufactured one will be rewarded with power and trust. That's the brutal irony of this episode. Two different philosophies. This episode introduces us to two different philosophies of power. The male lead uses information, he uses relationships, uses negotiations, uses intelligence. While he, on the other hand, he's the mirror of the male lead. He uses fear, uses money, uses status, uses intimidation. They're both powerful. They simply use different currencies. But only one of them plays fair. The family portrait scene is the funniest moment in this episode, but it's also the most telling. Everyone is out of position. Nobody knows where they belong. The photographer is directing them the exact same way a movie director directs actors. That's literally what they're doing. They're rehearsing a role. He has to teach them what a family looks like. He tells them, grandfather, you must sit here. Mother and father, sit together. Son, sit on your father's lap. Every instruction is a reminder. This isn't real. You're performing. The little boy kisses the female lead on the cheek. Her face in that photo is pure shock. She's not a mother. She's not even a wife. She's a contract employee. And yet, the male lead looks perfect, front and center, confident, believable. He's the only one who knows exactly what he's doing, and that's a bit terrifying. We all recognize this shot. We have seen it 100 times. 7 people walking shoulder to shoulder. We've seen this in war films. We've seen this in heist movies. We've seen it in superhero films. The team is assembled. The mission begins. This episode ends with exactly that image, not because they're family, but because they're about to become one. Episode 1 asked, who can you trust? Episode 2 asks, can trust be manufactured? Can a wife be hired? Can a father be rented? Can a child become campaign material? Can a family photograph become a business strategy? That's what makes the apartment job so fascinating. It isn't asking whether this family is fake. We already know it is. The real question is, will this fake family become real before the con is over? And to be honest, that's the storyline I'm most excited to watch unfold. Until next time, keep your tea warm and keep diving beneath the surface.